inside the WVU Coliseum. The Mountaineers welcome in the 15th ranked Auburn Tigers, the first of many signature matchups today as part of the challenge. We are glad. You think they're ready inside this place for this one?
Yeah, I'm going to turn around and look at the fans for a second. This is amazing. This is great. What an atmosphere. Sold out. Let's go.
14,000 in the house. First of 10 challenge games. We know how elite and stacked the Big 12 has been this year. Up first, though, 15th ranked Auburn against West Virginia. How about Mountaineers in those gray and then Auburn in the orange?
Auburn starting off in a little bit of a zone. They'll switch to man-to-man if it gets deep.
So after the Trey Mitchell miss, Auburn coming back the other way. This is Bruce Pearl's starting five. Wendell Green Jr., he is their leading scorer. Meanwhile, keep an eye out for number 4 in the paint. That's Janai Broom. He has been an enforcer inside this year. This time they lob it up to Jalen Williams. Little contact, could not convert it. West Virginia back the other way. So this is how Bob Huggins counters. Stevenson bumped. And he draws the foul right in front of, and that's his first. West Virginia team that's won 2 of its last 3, starting to catch its stride. Into the big man, this is Jimmy Bell Jr. Contested turnaround, that one falls through.
That's a really tough shot, but to do that over one of the top shot blockers in the country is a good sign for West Virginia early.
Here's his counterpart in the paint. That's Janai Broom. That lefty hook that he goes to often is off that time. Well, right back to the big man with the right hand. Falls through again. That's a deep one. A bunch of games on the road this year. Matter of fact, they've won 4. This is no doubt their toughest road environment that it's going to play in this season. There's Jalen Williams with a close range look.
They love to get him the ball right in that area. It's just a screener step in. It's a very simple play, but Auburn has such success with it time and time again.
Meanwhile, this is Mitchell to drive and kick. Plenty of paint touches you would expect in this game. Both of these teams, they hammer the paint, get to the free throw line. Like Alan Flanagan draws the foul, headed to the free throw line.
I'm glad he got back into coaching. Left some opportunities available for guys like myself.
Yeah.
But the success by Auburn under Bruce Pearl is nothing short of amazing, and just adjust to his personnel. A little bit bigger team this year, not the high-octane tempo, 3-point shooters, but they still find a way to win.
The reigning SEC champs they're near the top of the conference. Broom lost it, ball,
but he has down low, a little bit rattled early.
I mean, Dane, how important is just the physicality factor in this game today?
Yeah, you got to be prepared for a fight anytime you go up against a Bob Huggins coach team.
After the Stevenson miss, Flanagan pushing. Pulls up, wants the 3. That one's down and out. West Virginia, very efficient offense overall. This is Emmett Matthews Jr. Hits the mid-range.
A very balanced offense as well. When you look at West Virginia, you don't sit there and say, this is the one guy we have to stop. They got several guys capable of getting 10 to 12 points a game.
Yeah, they got 4 that average double figures of scoring. Broom, plenty of touches early on. Push shot, not that time. And he's frustrated after a couple of misses in the early minutes. So Auburn just 1 of 5, make it 1 of 6 from the floor to start. Matthews now from beyond the arc. Auburn just had its 5-game win streak snapped a couple of days ago. Lost at home against Texas A&M. Green lost it. There's that ball pressure that he must expect at times today. Stevenson sticks the fade away.
He's got great balance on his shot. He gets in there, plays off 2 feet, does Stevenson. He can make it from 3. He can hit the mid-range as well.
5-point lead early for West Virginia. They're 4 of 8. Broom, middle of the paint. Back out to Green for 3. Stevenson, the aggressive attack. And now back to Kedrian Johnson. Mitchell One dribble, goes up with the left, got
it. He's got a bag that you can't check it, or you can't fit in an overhead. You got to check that thing in. Wendell Green in between the legs with the lob. He loves some Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, he
showed
had
a little bit there.
Had the 12 assist game last week against South Carolina. Likes to be the passer. West Virginia by 6. Johnson, aggressive attack. Offensive foul. The very emotional Dylan Cardwell, he takes that.
And then I got a chance to see my Auburn Tigers play. That makes it even more special. But shout out to the Mountain Dew Nation, man. They were fabulous last year. I think they raised a couple $1 million.
Yeah.
And hey, I do anything for Huggy.
They sold it out for the first time thanks to you. And where does that generosity come from? I see you posing with every fan. You never get irritated, and you're so charitable.
Well, I didn't say that.
Where does that come from?
Well, you know what? Number one, it's part of the gig. But, you know, first of all, you can't take yourself that serious. You know, you played basketball for a living. Not like you're a teacher, a fireman, policeman, or somebody who's in an armed service. You know, people who've got a real job. So that goes with the territory.
You talked about earlier in your career how Moses Malone helped you understand how to receive criticism and take it. What's your advice to these young players today? In the
internet call you something, that don't make it true. But there are criticisms. The first thing I learned from Moses and Doc, you have to ask yourself, if it's from the coach, somebody like that, is the criticism fair? That's the first thing. You can't get mad at it because, you know, these kids consider coaching and criticism, they're the same thing. They're not the same thing.
Right.
So, yeah, I think we got a handful today. You know, we got to make some shots. We've only made one shot outside the lane. I've said before, it's going to come down to guard play, how successful our season are. And we haven't made but one shot outside the lane. I think Bartram hit the shot. They're long and athletic. They're a lot bigger in person than I saw them looking at them on tape. Man, they're long and athletic. And tell you what, this boy here is a handful.
That's Stevenson. After he hit that fall away a few moments ago, he started grabbing his neck. There was a little collision after the shot. Another giveaway.
You just got to deliver that pass. Broome is open on the short roll. It's an easy completion. Turnover instead.
That's 6 now for Auburn on the drive. This is Joe Toussaint, tie off the glass. West Virginia by 14, and it stretched it to its largest lead of the early afternoon.
Dylan Cardwell's a big boy to take a blow unexpectedly from behind.
He's going to go through some of the mobility checks, it looks like, back there. Flanagan, an aggressive drive, and with the left hand, he converts.
And I love how he really...
Difficulty for Auburn has been on this end. West Virginia, sterling 57% shooting from the field. Plus, they're perfect at the line. Zep Jasper. And he's the noted on-ball defender. So that is a very quick break on the bench. 10 points, 4 boards, 3 assists. Goal Going to work on Toussaint. That one-legged fadeaway is long. This West Virginia team, Dane, to your point, very efficient offensively this year. So they got off to that slow start in Big 12 play. That can happen. They lost 5 in a row, but have since rebounded and won 2 out of 3, including 10 days ago against a ranked TCU team. Toussaint lost it. Jasper ties him up again. So this will remain here with West Virginia this time. 5 seconds to shoot for West Virginia. How much time? Mitchell to Stevenson. He has to hoist. Another from deep.
Just incredible.
Flanagan steps into the mid-range, down and out. Auburn having trouble keeping up with Stevenson, feeling it. Hits the roller. This is Bell. Toussaint open for 3. Cardwell soars in for the board. Boy, West Virginia's shot selection has been pretty good. They've hit 3 triples. Flanagan draws the whistle on the attack. That'll be the second on Mitchell.
Season said, it doesn't matter where I'm at. That brim is looking big to me. This kid is a stone cold baller. You got to have him get hot, but if you're Bruce Pearl, you say, guys, we got to have consecutive stops. We're not just going to shoot our way back into this game. We got to defend our way back into it.
Can they wipe it back to maybe less than a 10-point deficit? Kobe Johnson picks up the dribble. Stevenson closed down nicely that time by Green. On the step back. Oh, that is a difficult shot. Fading to his left. He's got 15.
Help. Just better offense by Stevenson.
5th-year senior from Lacey, Washington. Pouring it in the first half. Pressure up top once again. Cardwell fires back out to Green. Launches. And Moore saves it. So a new 20. Auburn quick to attack the basket. Flanagan got it. And the foul.
And a really good job by Dylan Cardwell, the big man, just being a facilitator.
Up to Stevenson, coming up on a minute to play in the first. Jasper make it. Flanagan got a piece of that. The hustle to go after it. However, it's West Virginia basketball. Chaotic sequence. The
lead a little bit, just establish a few stops here, get back-to-back stops, maybe a bucket, go into just with a little bit of momentum into the half instead of having your head down.
Stevenson with 18, feeling it, but turns it over. This is Green around Toussaint to the rack. The follow that time by Flanagan. He flushes.
And what a timely steal by Wendell Green. At home, your role players can win you games. On the road, your stars have to win you games. And right now, Auburn's top players need to produce a little bit more, take some of the pressure off. But right now,
the year for Auburn. Hands down. Toussaint this time bothers Green. Diving, sacrificing the body. Up ahead with 8 seconds. Okonkwo back to the line.
This is where you're thinking you get the last shot at worst, and instead, your worst nightmare for Auburn. Live ball turnover, transit.
The Auburn guard, so Toussaint gives West Virginia a clock started. Well, anywho, here we go again. Take 2, 2 seconds. Green lost it, and West Virginia. Boy, poured it in that first half, including that man, Eric Stevenson. Overwhelming performance, 18